when we started laying all the cards out in front of each other and you started looking at the way the stories connected, you immediately were drawn to this concept. We almost had it simultaneously, where what if the villain of one story is actually the hero of another story played by the same actor? And once we made that connection of what if Goose is also Zachary, and how does a villain become a hero, that became an incredibly dynamic meta-narrative. It happened very fast because what you did is, as soon as you broke out the plot elements and the character elements of every story, you saw how similar they were and how often they were redundant or repetitive, and how often you could use a setup in one story and then the payoff in another story.
It was amazing how all of them matched up, because they are the same story in a lot of ways. It's about, each of the story is about, power dynamics and exploitation, and the weaker meet and the strong do eat, and they follow similar arcs.
When we discovered that we might be able to tell a story, have several stories, create a narrative arc all the way through without any repetition, and really kind of make it work, that you get an explanation about something or even about an emotional situation in a different story, and it still explains the previous one. That felt suddenly extremely exhilarating.
That was one of the joys of the film, was that people would walk around. It was like a crazy masquerade ball where all these actors would walk past each other and they wouldn't know who that was. And they would come to you later and say, "Who was that? Was that Jim Broadbent?" And like, Hugh Grant and Halle Berry were passing each other, and they kind of looked at each other like, "Who are you?
Are you?"
In this movie, Tom Hanks has range and does things that you've never seen Tom Hanks do anything like. I mean, when he's Dermot.
It was such a profound experience also to see him do it and to be so delighted to do it, really thanking us. Thank you guys for giving me this opportunity of being this monster, but again, at the same time, bringing in all his ability to be a funny monster, even, that he always keeps, humor alive, whereas he's so good at bringing depth to characters that still stay, you can't possibly, there's something you love about this guy, even though he's so horrifying, which is of course because it's Tom.
He was absolutely unbelievable to work with. I've never worked with anybody like him.
One of the things that was drawing me so strongly to Lana's and Andy's work was this fusion engine of really, really complex issues and serious stuff that you can spend nights with discussing, and that actually is also even relevant for your daily life.